What's up, everybody, and welcome to Weekday Wagers live on our Weekday Wagers YouTube channel. I am your host, Daniel Greer, and with me today is Marky Model. There is no Rob here today, but going forward, we're going to have Mark and Rob on tomorrow because I am actually out. So I apologize. This week has been nutso crazy. But we are getting through it. Thank you to Mark, who has been, I guess he went off for a day and then subbed in for a day, but now he's subbing in every day, and he'll be here the rest of the week. But we do have our plays, as always, that we'll get into to start the show on a Thursday. And we do have what we're going to be looking at with this day baseball and what's happening. There's 3 games that will be live while we're here. The Marlins are already up 5-1 on the Reds, and the other games have just started. And so we're just now getting into the second inning on those games. But we're going to talk through all of that. Plus, Mark just told me before the show starts that he has a game. I don't know what game it is, so we'll figure that out. And then we'll hit on the Survivor episode from last night and talk through that. And I have my thoughts, but let's get to how it went yesterday. And we have a plus money play, a plus 160. Nice. I don't know how you say that person's name, but yeah, that guy, the IP guy, the Yankees sucked yesterday against the A's, but today they're playing right now. So we'll be able to go through that with you live on the show. But let's go ahead and bring in the man, the myth, the legend, Marky Model. What up, man?
Just stretching out. I got a long run for the next. Just glad to be on the show this week. Next week's going to be a big one. Just got to keep limber, just stay focused, take it one show at a time. Just appreciate the opportunity,
Well, I see Nate G's here hanging out with us. He was here on the morning show with Coaching Company. We were hanging out and doing some good, fun show. It was me, Peyton, and Coach. And with just us 3, it was a blast because I feel like we can all hold our own water a little bit, right? So everybody can kind of hold themselves. So at that point, we're feeling good. It was a great show. But now we have some baseball. Let's go ahead and get to that real quick because we do have the Marlins.
What? No, I don't want to get to baseball. I hate baseball. I felt so good about myself this morning. I would get up, boom, put out a little NRFI video. First thing that happens, the Marlins just blow it out of the water. Well, it's disgusting.
I don't know what to do because I feel great about it because I had a 2+ walks parlay that cashed very early in this game from both pitchers. It was a plus 196 if you were playing along with me. It is it's tough for us to find walks plays right now because FanDuel and MGM just said, you know what, screw it. We're not putting up walks plays at all. And DraftKings is being very stingy with how they put it out. So I am being very careful with how I'm selecting my plays. But right now it is 5-1 Marlins over the Reds. Just looking at this game, Cincinnati 8-4 in the season. Miami, 7-5, not too bad. But Miami has been playing well as of late.
Yeah, and I really expected the starting pitcher for Cincinnati, Rhett
Louder.
Yes. Expected him to have such a better showing. In fact, full disclosure, I had the Reds on the first 5, just on the money line. You could get that at +1. You could have got it at plus 105. Obviously, that didn't cash. But I just really expected a better outing against a Marlins team.
Yeah.
That, to your point, they're mediocre. I mean, they've beaten the teams that they're supposed to. They've lost to the teams that they're supposed to. Haven't really done anything out of significance so far to start the season. And where Louder has really held his own against some of the bigger clubs, the Dodgers being one of them. I just think that I was very disappointed with the outcome, DG. I don't know how else to say that.
You were so pissed because I was talking about my walks prior to the show, and you're just like, I'm done. I'm like, what? Done. You're like, I'm done with NRFIs and YRFIs and whatever you got on an YRFI.
Well, no, you know what it is too? This is the 3rd day in a row because the other 2 legs of that play cashed. Minnesota, Detroit. We played the full game NRFI on that. That cashed. Yesterday on the show, I think, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday on the show, we had a live look in. Joe and I were playing the NRFI live on the show, and that one cashed, so I was happy with that. But these 3-leg team-specific NRFI parlays. I really do enjoy. I love them to death. I think it's great. You can really target some good NRFI teams. Have been missing by 1 leg. The last 4 plays I have put out missed by 1 leg. It's always that late night, the last one. The first 2 catch easy, not a problem.
I hate playing plays that if it's a parlay, like 2 legs are early and 1 leg late, because then I'm just like, oh, F this, because I have to wait and just to get it smashed in my face.
Right.
So it makes me mad. But we have 2 other games right now. We have the A's and the Yankees are going to the 3rd inning. It looks like 0-0. So not much of anything happening there. Some people were on Judge today. He was actually on the Daily Dinger, and I have a play on Max Muncy for the Athletics. Did you know that Max Muncy plays for the A's now?
I did know that.
You did?
Yeah.
Do you know that Max Muncy also plays for the Dodgers?
Yes. There's 2 of them.
Okay, that's making sure. Did you know that they were born exactly 12 years apart?
This is a fun game. That I did not know.
They were born
same day,
August 25th, 1990, and
get out of here. That is so weird.
I think it wasn't 2002. Maybe it was. Anyway, but I know that they were both born on August 25th. That's 12 years apart. I'm pretty sure it was 90 and 02, but I could be wrong. Either way, that doesn't sound right. Right? Yeah, he's 20. He's young. Yeah, so that sounds right. God, we're in the year 2026. Okay.
Right.
So yes, being born in 02. I graduated high school in 02. This is bad.
Did you really?
I'm getting old. All right. Well, let's keep this thing going. Let's talk about my age. But we do have two people on right now.
I don't even remember what I was doing in 02.
You probably don't even remember 2002.
No, I don't.
2 people on for, it looks like, who is up? All right. So we have a play on Colt. Is it Colt Keith? I think it's his name. Colt Keith?
Yes.
Right? Okay. Colt Keith. He is up with 2 men on, and I'm guessing he just got out.
Yep, because now it's the middle of the second.
Yeah, well, that was my story is gone. Well, anyway, we'll get into some more day baseball and the talks of that. We'll get into this game that we're going to play here in a few minutes. But before we get there, we do have some plays. I'm going to share one from Todd here. He's going Brandon Ingram over 21.5 points at -115. Going up against the Heat tonight. You might be interested in that game. But Mark, you look like you just baked some bread.
I don't know. I don't know that Joe really knows how accurate sometimes his comments are.
Did you just bake bread?
No, but the guy I play guitar with, Zach, I literally just sent him a message saying, hey, I need some more of that sourdough starter. That's why I'm done. I'm like, I think my house is bugged. And
You're going after the sourdough plug.
Yeah. I was going after the little sourdough starter because I wanted to bake some bread this weekend. So
wow.
Yeah.
Well, he said I just came from Sunday school.
Yeah.
I guess he doesn't see people in polos because he doesn't understand I don't wear any pants. And so all I am in the shirt. So I wouldn't do this at Sunday school, Joe. What are we talking about? You don't do the show without pants?
You do wear shorts though, right? You're not.
No, I thought everybody did just a shirt. That's not.
No, it's just the stats, and you have to wear.
I thought it was just a shirt. My bad.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Seabass, the only 5-star chef in the game. We all know sports betting is full of bad beats and tough calls, but when it comes to flavor, there's no second guessing. Bassett's Blends is the plus EV lock of every meal. We don't need a stinking model. Crafted with winning spices and bold taste, Bassett's Blends comes in 3 flavors, original, hot, and no salt, that's gonna turn chicken, steak, vegetables, any dish into a can't miss cover every night. With Bassett's Blends, there's no bad beats, no flavor fades, just guaranteed greatness. Check out the link right here where you can pick up your Bassett's Blends for a guaranteed lock every single night.
Does it crack you up when Seabass says, and it comes in hot? Speaking of coming in hot, I have been hot in every single league except for Major League Baseball. So you know what? I am going to the hard court tonight. And I like Taj's recommendation because I have the Toronto Raptors -4.5 at -110. And this is one of those matchups where you don't need to overcomplicate it. The Raptors have had Miami's number all season long, and it hasn't even been close. 3 wins, all by double digits, including a 26-point blowout at their home, which is not variance. That's a matchup edge. Toronto comes in healthy. They've been playing solid two-way basketball, and now they're facing this Miami Heat team that has been leaking points defensively and struggling on the road. That combination usually doesn't fix itself overnight, and the biggest issue for the Miami Heat right now is on the defensive end. 27th in defensive rating over the last 10 games, giving up 120 or more in 5 of the last 6. That's not a slump. That's a trend. Meanwhile, Toronto has shown that they can clamp down when they need to. They've held multiple teams under 100, including Miami. And if this game follows the same script as the others, it won't take much for the Toronto Raptors to create separation once again. You've got the better defense, the healthier roster, and a proven matchup advantage. That's how you cover numbers like this.
Well, how do we get here? I did not think I was going to be betting on the NBA again this season, but I like the matchups early in the day with baseball, and I hate the matchups at night. And so I didn't know what direction to go. So I peeked my eyes back into the NBA, and I saw a first quarter line that I thought one was too low. And then I looked at the model, and the model agreed it was too low. So trust me on this one. I hate it just as much as you might just hate going and betting on the NBA as well. But hear me out, because I'm going to take the Pacers and the Nets. We're going to go the first quarter over 54.5. It's at minus 113 over at FanDuel. And I looked at this in the first two matchups, Pacers and the Nets, they both went under this. But I started looking at the latest trends with both of these teams, and they're flying over in the first quarter against at least their last 3 matchups as well beyond that. And the reason is what you're seeing in these tanking teams is they're playing their better players early in the game, and they're actually allowing them to play just openly and fluid, and they're scoring points. But even if they don't play, there are capable players on there, and the defense sucks in general. So why not take some scoring? And so tonight, I think in the third matchup between the Pacers and the Nets, we get a little magic happening, and we can score just 55 points. We're not asking for a ton here. We're asking for 55 points. So if we can combine for the 55 and go over that first quarter number, I would appreciate it, NBA. Don't screw me just again.
I was just checking. It's the only green slot on our model projection. So.
Everything else is all red, and I hate it. But yeah,
which has been crazy because I forget the game yesterday, but the model had it going under, and they put up 72 points in the first quarter. It's like.
That's the thing but the problem is with these two teams, I looked at records. It really doesn't, I guess, mess with either team too much if one wins or the other wins, because that's the issue. There's less than 3 games left for most of these teams. So a win now is very crucial that you don't want to happen, right? And so at that point, I don't think it hurts them too much. If they do win, they shouldn't slide one way or the other. And so I think that we'll get some points early, and depending on who's actually playing well, I think he actually wins the game compared to, all right, just like the Grizzlies last night. They were a 22.5, 23.5 point underdog, winning by 4 points at halftime, end up going up by 8 before they decided, you know what, we're good. And I don't know if you know this. I text y'all. The number at halftime is 12.5. They end up winning by 18. Like, I feel good about that at that point. So you can cash these teams at half very easily.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And especially a team like what Memphis did last night, all of a sudden they come out and they play real competitive, and they're not afraid to play competitive for that first half or even that first 3 quarters. It's the end of the game where they're like, okay, whoa, remember, bigger picture, picture. We need to lose this one. I wanted to ask you, speaking of situations like that, Giannis and being asked not to. I mean, what the hell is going on with him? And is his time in Milwaukee over?
All right. Well, first it's Giannis. It's just
Giannis.
it's
Giannis.
like, yeah. Every time you say it,
it's just like Giada.
I die inside. What's happening there is they have to figure out a way to tank. You can't tank, and you can't lose games when you have, Giannis on the court. Plus, he has had injuries. So I understand both sides. I understand being Giannis and knowing that you can play through something like this, which is not a big injury. but I also know that, hey, the front office is looking for any chance they can to possibly remove him from the lineup, which allows them to lose games, more ethically, right? Instead of like having to play him 15 to 18 minutes a game and then pulling him, not letting him play in the fourth quarter, which that's what the Grizzlies do. For example, like if Ty Jerome, Cedric Howard, anybody that's somewhat good plays, they don't play over 20 minutes and they never touch the fourth quarter. So you'll see them play, usually like a 6-minute stints. It'll play 6 minutes at a time. That gets you to 18 minutes. And if you, for some reason, timeouts don't happen, that's when you bleed into the 20-minute area. But that's what's happening. And that's why the NBA needs to figure out how to change tanking. Because right now, teams aren't even allowing some of their players who could play for the entertainment of the fans. They're not allowing them to play because, honestly, they can't take a chance to win any games because this draft class could be decent. Because of that, they got to figure out a way to free standings at some point, divvy out the stuff, and then from there, if you can play. But you're not allowed to make the playoffs, in a sense, if that makes sense.
No, it does. It makes all the sense in the world. It's just it puts such a bad product on the court.
Yeah.
My allergies are kicking up, so I don't want to sneeze. Yeah, I'm trying to stop myself from sneezing. That works, actually.
Does it?
Yeah, always works. It just stopped me. Not you. You doing it's not going to stop me from sneezing.
I know.
Oh,
but
okay.
If I got to sneeze, I'm just going to start doing this. I mean, I'm going to do it so much you can't tell if I'm actually going to sneeze or not.
But you got to press really hard, though. That's the secret. You can't just put it up there and hold it. That's disgusting. Don't ever do that again. What is the matter with you?
Let's
I got a game.
Yeah, let's get to the update real quick before we get there.
All right.
And everybody turns off the show with your game. 5-1 still. Marlins over the Reds. Bottom of the third, 2 outs. Yankees and the Athletics are 0-0. Tigers, Twins, nothing again. There's not much happening. And yes, this is off the rails. But let's get the game going.
All right.
You didn't even set it up for a game.
No, I need a daily dinger thing right here. Watch this. Right? What does that do? There's that. There's that. There's this. So, DG, I have a simple question. Rob and I played a game called This or That.
Yep.
Which option would you choose? You could get 100,000 instant lump sum payout. You'd have it cash in hand right now, 100,000, or you'd get a magic $1 bill that doubled its value for 20 days straight. Ignore that 524 288. That is wrong. This is it. Obviously, this is a Gemini created. I don't know why they put that number. That's not the correct number up there. Which would you choose?
So what is the number then? Because it's got to be, it's not, I don't think it's more, right? But it doubles, what is it? Let me see. I know it's 1, 2, and then I have 4.
So it's right there. 1, 2, day 3 would be 4. At day 20, I'm holding that one as a surprise. Gemini put in that 524. I can tell you right now, it is nowhere near 524 288. So if that influences your choice, I guess that's what influences your choice.
Yeah, I initially I would say that, but for 20 days, like I understand. I'm not trying to do math here, so let me just be a dummy here and just take the 100K and just figure out how much I missed out on.
Okay.
Option A.
You go option A. That's the correct number.
Yeah. So I thought it was more because once it gets up to like 10, it's going to be over $200 ish a day. I believe it was the number.
It goes 200, then 400, then 800, and it just keeps compounding. I bring this up, and yes, it's a stupid little game, this or that. But I do have a question for you, because a friend of the show, Jared Smith, who was on filling in, and he has stepped away from the betting industry as a whole.
Wow.
And I was having a conversation with him. We were talking about his decision, and he decided to step away because of an organization that is a clearinghouse for handicappers, and the way that they get promoted is by sensationalizing their winnings. And how many people in that warehouse? And here, I can tell you if you know my history, at one point in time, I was also affiliated with this organization, but that they're promoting these handicappers. And when they're asked, the handicappers are asked, so what's your, how many units are you up? Or what is your profit and loss? They don't know the answer to it. And the reason they don't know the answer to it is because they keep putting out these lotto parlays that they may hit one, but that they don't account for losing the previous 450 lotteries. But so many people, and this is the option, it's kind of like that, this or that, is that they're looking for that huge payout, that $100,000 now cash in hand, where really, if you do this smart betting and you're making selective picks and increasing your bankroll over an extended period of time, you're going to make a hell of a lot more money.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
No, I thought there was a question there. I wasn't sure what that was going.
No,
and I agree.
Yeah, Nate does a great job of exposing fake influence bettors. And that's the challenge of this industry, right? Because all those people get so much recognition and so much, they're so in your face that this industry becomes very difficult because of it. And unfortunately, Jared has decided to go a different route with what he wants to do. He'll still be in media, but just a different route. And so I think that we lost a good one because of the environment that we're in.
Yeah, I think that's what goes to social media in the day and age that we're at. Everything's the microwave society, right? Where everything has to be fast, quick, and social media isn't real. In all honesty, like I see what people put up a lot of times, and I'm like, I just can't do that. I don't feel good about leading people the wrong way. In all honesty, like this is like personal, but like we're doing the daily dinger stuff. And I enjoy doing the daily dinger, and we don't put odds up there for a reason. One, they can change. Two, I don't want it to be like, oh my God, we put all these three together. It's supposed to be about fun. And sometimes I struggle with the sports betting aspect. I feel like we do a good job of keeping it real, but I also think we do a good job of being honest and show recap screens and keeping our stats, ourselves personally, and through justice@sports.com. And so in all that stuff, like I feel like we do a decent job, but I still struggle with sometimes of like, today is not a great day for dingers, but I know people are looking for them. And so like, I want to put the video up and just share like, hey, these are three guys that I like today. And it should be fun. It should be, all that. But I always feel a little uncomfortable because sometimes I'm like, I don't want people to take this as like a guarantee. Like that's not what we're trying to put out. So I understand that society, and I understand that's how people are getting their clicks and their views is because of people doing that. But we never want to stray people too far away and don't want to be untruthful. So it's very tough, especially in this day and age.
Oh, I agree. You know what's not tough? Well, I should say, what's tougher?
What's tougher?
Is navigating Survivor.
It is, and that's kind of where we're at right now. There's a lot of people talking about Sari, but let's go ahead and get to.
Got to hear the whistle.
Yeah, we can get some TV timeout. All right, a little TV timeout action last night. We had Survivor, and I get up now in the mornings and I enjoyed it. And I watch Survivor on my phone at 5:30 a.m. when I walk my dog because I'm trying not to be all big boned all the time in life. And so I enjoyed the peacefulness of watching Survivor early in the morning. And I came back in the house after my long walk, and I was upset because I hadn't seen the end of the show, but I knew there was a direction it was going, and I was going to be either happy or sad, but I was upset because I felt like they were going to target D. And it gave me some hope towards the end when I thought they were going for the Dragon Slayer and Coach himself. But unfortunately, they took out D. What are your thoughts?
I'm trying to think. Did I watch the right one?
Oh, God. What did you see?
I saw 3 people get voted off.
That was last week.
No.
Yes, it was. That was episode 6.
Well, then let's talk about that because I have some questions. How did I mess that up? I screwed that up because I did the same thing you did this morning. I pulled it up on demand.
We bring you on, and this is what happened.
Dude, wow, did I flub that up?
Wow. All right. Well, let's talk about last week because I do think it is interesting because I finally was able to watch it. So, what are your questions about last week?
One, what is that stupid shot in the dark idol?
All right. I thought you were a Survivor fan. I thought you were up. Okay, so you're not all the way up on the lingo and the different things. All right, so it's not an idol.
This is like you watching Traders.
Okay. No, I'm on track. It's like Robbie watching.
Watching Traders.
Yeah. So the shot in the dark is pretty much what it is. It's a shot in the dark, right? You put, there's so many scrolls in that bin. You have to put your die in, and you get to pull out a scroll. And there's only so many in there. I don't know the percentages to be off the top of my head, but there's only so many, and it might only be one. I don't know, that actually says safe. And so you're literally just taking a shot in the dark because you know you're going home. That's the only part that sucked about this episode is when she played her shot in the dark, I was confused because literally we were just on the episode and it was down to the wire. She was going to do a show herself on the stage, whispering in ears. And then all of a sudden she plays her shot in the dark. I'm like, all right, that just means that none of that was actually real. She's getting voted off.
Well, and if she had received the "you're safe" scroll,
yeah,
everybody already voted. So then what happens? Because they all voted for her.
Every vote for that person does not count.
Right. So what do they re-vote?
No. So let's say, all right, so you haven't seen this episode. So I want to make sure that
walk me through it. Walk me because
all right. So on this episode, I'm going to completely ruin it for you because this is what we have to do. Let's say there's 14 people that vote, right? A lot of times they split their votes. And so in this one, a lot of it was they wanted to go 7 one way, 4 one way, and whatever. And a lot of that is exactly what happened. But let's say it was 7 one way, 4 one way, and then 2 another way. At that point, the 7, that if that was for the person that had played their shot in the dark that's safe, then it's the 4 that counts. So it's the person who has the second most in that point. Does that make sense?
Right. It makes all the sense in the world. But do they do it by grouping or do they do it as a conglomerate? Because
the whole group.
It was broken up into 3 different groups.
So that one was, yes. But
so that's my question.
Thing.
No, but that's why, because she didn't have it. There were no other votes.
Correct. Well, they would have so at that point they would have re-voted, but only the people who voted would have been able to re-vote.
Okay.
If that makes sense. And they couldn't have voted for her. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So all the people who voted last time is allowed to vote again if nobody goes home, and that person is off the table. So then they would have to readjust. But I would imagine that person would have voted for somebody. That person voted. Who played the shot in the dark? Remind me. Is it Camilla?
No,
not Camilla.
Genevieve.
So Genevieve played her shot in the dark, right? She voted for somebody, right?
Yes. No, I don't think she had a vote.
So maybe that's what it was. Either way, I'm completely forgot about all that back then because I just kind of skipped through it a little bit because I don't care about seeing 3 tribals personally. I thought that part was a little too much. I don't want to see 3 tribals, so I skipped a lot through the tribal talking, and I just saw who was going home, and so whatever. But yes, so this week I'm gonna bring you up to speed because we're gonna have to. So
please.
It was a chance for, and it was one of my more favorite ones where they do you get something and a reward for whenever they do their the event. and then immunity then is out of the next 5 or 6 whoever's on the team at that point. So at this point, they all go in 2 teams to go and have to go through this different thing. One team wins, one team loses. The team that wins gets the reward, and then they all get split up to individual to where whoever outlasts the other one gets immunity. And so we saw Ozzy end up getting immunity, which was interesting because him and Joe were at the bottom, and then the third place, and that was D. And then we go back, and Jonathan and Coach kind of get into it a little bit more. Jonathan than Coach get into it with D, and Jonathan is just kind of raising hell and all of this stuff. And so because of that, it puts D on Front Street. Well, then they do all that. They do the event. They come back, and now Coach is just all up in himself and thinks he's Mr. Haiku and talking in haikus only, and he's running the whole ship. And whatever happens, where Coach ends up feeling himself, and he eventually starts telling people where they're voting. And so at that point, it flips a little bit. People are getting tired of Coach, and that's when D finally is able to get enough votes, it looks like, where she can overthrow and possibly take out Coach. So it ends up coming. In the end, Coach stays, D goes, and it sucked.
But you got that sense. I got that sense from the episode that I watched this morning, which is obviously 2 weeks behind, when they voted off Colby over Coach, and the conversations then were about who is really. I don't think they see Coach as a threat that they can get rid of him at just about any time. So I find that interesting.
Yeah.
Well, if you're making your big push now, everybody else in that group has kind of decided that he's not a threat. We'll take care of him when we need to take care of him. You got to be careful and keep your head on a swivel for everybody else.
Yeah, but that was a smaller group too. It wasn't the whole consensus of the large group. I don't know. I enjoy this season. I like they went bigger. I think it's more entertaining than the smaller tribes. I hope in the future maybe they do break them up, and where honestly they're on the beach all together would be really cool, but then pit them against each other as they keep changing teams every event. I think that could be an interesting way of doing it instead of breaking up into different tribes, because I don't know. I guess the end could be bad, but realistically the end could be better, because then you have people who you thought you trusted, the first 10 days,
right,
that now are slitting your throat, and you don't have the whole tribes coming in sticking together. I think there could be some, I guess majority votes, which would suck, but I think there could be some action in that. I don't know.
Who do you think is going to fare better, the new generation of Survivor contestants or the OGs of Survivor in that team constantly switching environment? I personally think that it really handcuffs the OGs who are so used to playing this game a certain way, and it really lets that new era kind of shine.
Yeah, I do think it's definitely helps the new era, but honestly, I could go either way on that. But I just don't see. I don't know the direction these people are going. I thought D was cool with some people, and then now it's all right, I see Riz and Sari are close, but now D kind of opened her mouth up and went against them, and so now that that sent them home, or they were cool with sending her home. But now you have an OG in Sari, who I hate, is just playing a very boring game, the mom trustworthy person, and Riz is actually playing a really good game.
Right.
And he's probably playing them one of the best games right now, just overall. And I that's interesting. I never thought I would like him on the show.
Yeah, and to be honest, he's that one surprise piece for me that I never saw him getting up to this point.
Right.
I thought he would have been, somebody would have gotten sick of him already and been like, "No, you got to go." So I find that surprising. And the fact that he's actually starting to manipulate and control the game the way that he did in season 49,
yeah,
I also find very interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how all this plays out, and I'm interested to see how next week is. There's another twist, and just like Miss Kim saying right here, I want to know why all the tears next week for Sari, and that many tears has to mean something personal, or which could be very personal, could be like family or missing somebody. I think that's potential.
Was it she also the one that she has the mom that was, I thought she had a mom that passed away or something. Mom was sick the last time she was on, something like that.
I don't know. And honestly, could care less. I'm with Robbie. I hope she goes home. I know it's heartless, but like, I think she's very boring and she does nothing. But what I was thinking about with Sari is like, it could be personal or it could be within the game, but I don't know what makes you cry that much unless you're going overboard. So if it's personal, I get crying that much. And yes, I'm the same way about Robbie. Like if that's a situation with their mom, I would never wish that on my worst enemy. So not that, but I think it could be part of the game, because why would they do that unless they're throwing us for a loop? If it's a part of the game, why are we crying that much? Like, nobody died, right? If your number one goes home, I get being upset and having a moment, but like that much, it looked like a lot. So she's probably just playing up for the masses, which that's what she always does.
Oh, which is the worst.
I don't know.
Then I'll hate her too. If that's the case, then I'm going to hate her too.
Well, we'll see tomorrow. We'll see next week if we all hate her. But you're going to have to watch episode 8. You're going to have 7 still there. All right. You're going to have to watch it. You're going to have 8 next week.
As soon as this show is done, I am turning it back on and making sure I am all caught up.
Okay, good. And I hope this is true. Someone called her out for spilling secrets.
Ooh.
That's what she's saying. She hopes it is that she's spilling secrets. That would be good. All right. Well, that's all we got today. Thank you all for hanging out with us. It has been a lot of fun, as always. There's day baseball. I want to bring you up to speed on some of that, but honestly, not much has changed. There are no runs in the later 2 games that just started when we went live, and so the other one, I believe, is like 5-1, and so not much is changing on that one at all. 6-1. So besides that, day baseball, very boring today. But tomorrow we'll have Rob on with Mark. I will be out tomorrow, but hopefully we can make some adjustments for the future and trying to make some, depending on how our schedules are, we might have to change up the way we're presented on here. And so we'll make sure that we still are going to be live and doing some kind of content, but we're going to figure that out as we go throughout these next couple of weeks and how we do this. So, but thank you all for hanging out with us. It's been an absolute blast. I'm DG. That is Mark. We'll see you all tomorrow.